called Studebaker Hawk in town this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and up visiting for a little while this evening. And I don't know, we were just discussing various albums that Artimus had been thumping drums on. And a lot of people, I don't know, there's some people that forget about that first Skynyrd album and the fact that Artimus wasn't there, that another gentleman was there playing drums. He is going to be in town Thursday night. He's got a band called Blackfoot. Why don't you elaborate on that a little bit?
Oh, yeah, I'd be glad to. The man's name is Ricky Medlock, and he used to play drums for the band, for Skynyrd. And he played drums on a lot of the cuts that any Skynyrd freaks would know off of, like, the last album that was released, the first and the last. Okay, now everybody noticed my mug was all over that picture, all over that album cover. However, I didn't play one lick on the entire set, and it was done like 8 years ago. And Ricky Medlock sang like White Dove and Seasons, two beautiful tunes. And you know, it was a time when he played drums with the band. He's an excellent drummer, but now with Blackfoot, he plays guitar and he sings, and he's a monstrous singer, and he's a really good person. Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be kind of like old home week.
Sure. Also, with Alvin Lee, if Mylon is still with him, if anybody ever heard of the Lefevre singers, okay, the Lefevre, this is like gospel. Well, Mylon Lefevre, who did an album with Alvin Lee,
On the Road to Freedom.
Okay, On the Road to Freedom. Mylon, when we went to the thing in Atlanta I was telling you about a while ago, anyway, Mylon was there with Alvin because Mylon lives in Atlanta, and now he's on the road with Mylon because they were going south together, and I assumed they were going to come north together, and so we'll be seeing them. We might get together for some jamming if we can convince somebody to, you know, to do it. But Mylon always jam. Me and Mylon have jammed, you know, every time we see each other in Atlanta, we get together and do Stormy Monday Blues backwards, you know, and so, you know. Why don't you say something, Daryl?
Yeah, Daryl. Why don't you say something?
No, we're talking about it, but I did want to mention that about Ricky Medlock because he's an intense individual, and he goes back. He's right in there in the roots with the. You know, I'm very proud of Lynyrd Skynyrd. I'm very proud to have been with the band. I was with him for about 4 or 5 years, and I played on 4 albums that I was, you know, into. But you know, Ricky goes way back. He goes to the roots. And now Blackfoot's been together for a long time. They've got several albums out. I believe they have. This is their 3rd one. Mm-hmm. This is the one that Highway Song is off of. And wait a minute, I'm not here to plug their band.
No, we're talking Studebaker Hawk.
But check them out. You know, in between our sets.
In between your sets, cruise down the Agora and check them out Thursday night. From here, what kind of plans have you set up as far as the band itself, like direction-wise? Are you looking to stay based out of Spartanburg or in that vicinity? And
definitely, we have a house. We have a beautiful place. It's a good and very conducive atmosphere for a band, high on a mountain, away from all neighbors in North Carolina, in the mountains down there. Very beautiful place. Very, as I say, conducive for writing. And everybody in the band writes. Sandy. I'll just like to run through who's in the band. Sandy Stein on guitars, Barry Harwood on guitars, Billy Beheeler from down there on guitars. Sandy and Barry also play violin and various other instruments. And Steve Brewington on bass, and Daryl, of course, on vocals, and me on drums and vocals, and Sandy sings, and Barry sings too. And everybody in the band writes, except for me. And you know, so and I put in my little bits and pieces, but I'm not a writer. Everybody else is, and it's a very broad-based group. As I say, you know, we have roots in jazz. We all are, like, my favorite group of all times. This might freak somebody out, but I don't think so, really, is Weather Report. It's the kind of music that I like to listen to, you know, after playing some good old rock and roll, because I love rock and roll. And you know, we have some jazz roots, and we have some just a free-flowing funkified filth, you know, just everything.
Yeah, I think
that's a good way to put it.
All the individuals involved, you know, they're so diverse. We have a lot of different influences, like from country to kick-ass rock to, you know, like old-time R&B. So I think a lot of people will be surprised.
It should make for an interesting set, just from the backgrounds of people and stuff, and everybody's an individual, even when they are in a band. And if they start to form into one collective group, then you see all these different energies come into the music. So it should be a red-hot weekend.
Well, you see, one more thing, Bill, is that Sandy and I, for instance, we go back, at the time when the Dantes and the Rebounds were happening. We had a band together in 1964. We had a group, very, a little neighborhood group. But we know each other that long. Everybody in the band, except for one guy, we have played together on different projects. With Barry Harwood, I did an album with him in El Paso, Texas, 2 summers ago. Beautiful album. And we go back, so we can fight like dogs and cats, and we can come back and get something done work-wise, because we are professional musicians. We do enjoy what we do, and we want to keep on doing it. And so, it's a very, I think, a very mature band, although we have not been together as a group, and I'd like to, and this, you asked about direction a while ago, I'd just like to add that this summer, July the 23rd, we have a week of time blocked at Studio One. We're Atlanta Rhythm Section. We did an album there. We did Street Survivors when I was with Skinner, and at the Studio One in Atlanta, Georgia, in Doraville, and which is a very, very good studio, very good quality. You get a nice fat sound. You can count on it. You get a good drum sound, good vocal sound. Sweet Home Alabama was recorded there. And a good engineer should be able to get a good guitar sound out in the middle of a field. And, so we're going to go in there, and we're looking to go in and record as we were going to make an album, although we'll only do maybe 4 tunes. But we're not going to go say we're going to go do demonstration tunes. We're going to go cut them as they should be cut. And then we'll add them in, if somebody's interested. But we'll be doing this for BGO Records, which is a subsidiary of Polydor. And then Daryl and I and Barry Harwood are doing a project for Mercury Records in Orlando, Florida, in the month of July. And the studio is also a booking agent, and they're going to get us some gigs in that area, like Gainesville and Orlando and the Florida circuit, while we're recording and laying down basic tracks. So, we're going to be very busy this summer.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a summer that will tell what our future is.
No vacation time.
Correct.
In the studio.
Love it.
Well, you can check it out this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Zach's. You can see what these people are doing as far as on stage. The band is called Studebaker Hawk. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Stop back again.
Thank you, Bill.
We'll get you caught up in here and whatnot. And I'm going to do a couple things here from Artimus's old band, making way for the new material, which hopefully we'll be seeing within the year. Who's to say? WLVQ FM 96 Columbus, this is